So that is one example of manipulating your surroundings, manipulating what is around you, the circumstances, the situation, so that you don't have to use too much willpower. So you get what I'm saying, right? Instead of your goal being, I will use my willpower, your goal should be, I shouldn't have to use my willpower. How can I make sure I need to use very less of it? Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the Feel Good Factor. I'm Susmita Veganosaurus, and I'm so glad you could join me here today. I have been on a roll this past week. So full of flow and inspiration, and I have just created so much. It's incredible. I'm surprised with my own self. I think it could be because of the 2-week hiatus and I had to rest and not talk and everything. So the moment I became okay last week, I first, of course, recorded last week's podcast episode, but I didn't feel like stopping at that. So I started building this new course for multi-passionates, and then I recorded so much of audio content for that, and then I created this survey so that I could get more information from multi-passionate entrepreneurs and creators and stuff, so that I could fine-tune the course for them even better. Oh God, I'll tell you all about the course soon when I announce it. Right now I'm still working on it. But if you are a multi-passionate yourself, then drop me an email, the feelgoodfactor at veganosaurus.com, and let me know. A multi-passionate is someone who has more than just one interest, who wants to do more than just one thing with their life, who wants to do multiple things. So you have multiple passions, multiple interests, multiple talents. So that is a multi-passionate person. So if you feel you are one and want to have a harmonious, multi-passionate life, like a well-rounded one, where you're getting to explore many things, but also gently growing and flowing, then this course is for you. So drop me an email and I'm going to send you a link to that survey so that you can tell me what you want me to include in the course. Today's episode is all about willpower. So here's the thing. Willpower is a limited resource. Let that sink in. Willpower is a limited resource. A lot of us, when we want to achieve something or get a change to happen in our lives, we feel like we can rely completely on our willpowers. In fact, so many people are proud of that. Oh, I have a very strong willpower. I can do anything. I can make anything happen. And some of us think, oh God, I don't have enough willpower. I'm very weak-willed, so there's nothing I can do. I can't achieve this thing, or I can't make this positive change in my life. Either way, whether you believe you have a strong willpower or a weak willpower or whatever it is, it doesn't matter, because willpower itself is a limited resource. There's only so much of it that a person can have, that each of us can have. But that's okay. That's actually all right. Absolutely. You don't have to be afraid. Because we understand that, okay, this is a limited resource. What we need to do is create systems, situations, circumstances, manipulate everything around us, and then make it easy for ourselves to make a certain switch or achieve certain goals. And then deploy our limited willpower in a very discerning manner. In a very miserly way, deploy it little by little. You shouldn't have to use a lot of willpower. Basically, that's the thing. Let me give you one example. Say you want to stop eating too many snacks, fried snacks in the middle of the day. You have a habit of going and grabbing some chips and whatever, right? And eating those as a daily habit. Oh no, I don't want to eat snacks every single day. That's not a good thing. So how do you change it? You don't say, oh, I will look at the chips packet, but I will deny myself the chips and not have. I'll turn my face and walk away. So that won't work. That'll work 1 day, 2 days. By the third day, you're like tearing into it and then just digging deeper into the chips packet than you would have in those first couple of days. Because denial has tested your willpower, it's added that pressure, and then you give in to things. That's not the way to do it. What you do, how do you manipulate the circumstance, the situation? You place your unhealthy snacks in enclosed boxes, and you place them a little higher up or lower down, or not on a table or a shelf which is at eye level. So your eye shouldn't keep falling on it. It shouldn't catch your eye. What does that do? First of all, it removes it from your attention. One thing you won't be doing is, how a lot of us, without even thinking about it, we'll just go grab the snack because we've seen it and we'll be eating it. And in the middle of eating it, while other thoughts are running in our head, we realize that, oh, I'm snacking on something, right? It doesn't 100% dawn on you that you're doing it. So that is eliminated because you're not seeing it. If you're not seeing it, you will not unconsciously or semi-consciously pick it up and start eating the snack. The second thing is, apart from hiding it, of course you want a mid-afternoon snack, you have that habit, you do want to eat it. So take some healthy options like some fruits, some roasted nuts. Now roasted nuts are fantastic because they're very satiating. See, what we like in snacks, especially savory snacks, is that oily, fatty, that feeling. And that rich feeling is there in roasted nuts and seeds. You just have a few and you feel satisfied, deeply satisfied. So you keep those at eye level, on the table wherever you keep snacks, in that corner of your kitchen wherever you store snacks, you keep these healthy alternatives there. Of course, there are plenty of healthy alternatives that you can buy also, but let's see what best we can do with the stuff in our own homes that we can make easily and keep, because then it's really healthy and really clean. You know exactly what goes into it. So then you manipulated the situation. Then the craving should be really high for you to bend down or reach up and then open a box and then open the chips packet and take it. Because we are all lazy, right? So you're actually making use of your laziness here. You're actually taking advantage of that lazy side and counting on the fact that you won't make that little bit of extra effort to reach and get that snack for yourself, at least not all the time. So that largely reduces your exposure to the unhealthy snacks. And then, yes, there are times when the craving is higher. Either at that point of time, you can deploy your bit of willpower, or you can give in to it, and then anyway, you know that you won't be doing this every day so easily because it's not so easily accessible. So that is one example of manipulating your surroundings, manipulating what is around you, the circumstances, the situation, so that you don't have to use too much willpower. So you get what I'm saying, right? Instead of your goal being, I will use my willpower, your goal should be, I shouldn't have to use my willpower. How can I make sure I need to use very less of it? Then there is the content we consume. When we want to either achieve something or make a positive change in our lives, there, what do you manipulate? It's the content that you consume. Let's say you want to pick up a new habit, a good habit that's good for you, either reading or maybe working on some creative project or your hobby, or doing some work which will help you in the long run, on a project or your business or something like that. What do? You start consuming content which is related to that. So you start watching other people who are doing that. I don't encourage much use of social media. If you've listened to my earlier episodes, you'd know this. I usually warn people against using too much of social media or spending too much time on any Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, wherever. Yes, avoid social media, but whatever time you are spending on social media, make sure you're following those people who already have those habits that you want to inculcate. So you want to start doing some kind of say crocheting, then you start following a crochet artist, especially if it's somebody who shares tutorials on some new designs, new ideas. For a person who's creative, someone who has a hobby or who's interested in a craft, what really tempts us into actually doing that craft is seeing some new techniques, new ideas, watching someone else do it. It's very inspiring for us. We immediately want to go and start doing it. When I feel like, oh God, I don't feel like cooking, let me just make something, but I don't want to go too deep into cooking, or I feel like, okay, I haven't done something new in a while, I just open recipe books and just start reading them. That's it. Like, not any one specific recipe. I just open the book and then flip through it. While I'm flipping through it, already I'm feeling this itch inside. Oh, I have to try this, I have to try that out. And then I feel this energy push to go and try it out. So this way, I'm not using my willpower and pushing myself to go into the kitchen and start making something new. Instead, I'm consuming content that's going to inspire me into doing it, that's going to energize me from within to do it. Or you want to do some kind of a fitness, develop a fitness routine, some kind of, okay, I want to do 10 push-ups every day, just an example. Then you start following people who are doing that already. You want to start inculcating a yoga practice, watch some people who do yoga poses. Like I said, it doesn't have to be on social media. It can be, you can be following a blog, you can follow a YouTube channel, you can follow many things. There's so much free information online, but also you can purchase courses, you can buy books, have things around you, surround yourself with these things which you want to do, and then that's going to automatically power you from within to do it. Basically, you create support systems and safety nets around yourself for any change, any place where you think you need willpower. Instead of willpower, you focus on creating these safety nets and support systems. A few episodes ago, I spoke about process versus product, where we're talking about how just doing something is more important than the end goal, what you achieve out of it. So you create systems to support you to do that. When you do that, the system is going to aid you. The safety net, the support system, all of it is going to aid you in doing whatever it is you want to do. For example, I like to sign up for online courses, a mix of paid ones as well as free ones, basically topics that interest me. I sign up for a bunch of them. For a while, I was just signing up but not really using them. I would always think, oh, this nice course is there, I should sit and spend some time on it. But somehow I would just let it go, one day, next day, and then forget about it. So what I did is, in the past few months, I put a little slot in my calendar. 4 days a week, it's there on my calendar. Just half an hour. That, okay, this is a time to study. Of course, it's flexible. So on some day, if I can't do it at 1 o'clock, as I've set it, I'll change it and say, okay, I'll move it to 3 p.m., but I'm going to do it. And no matter what, half an hour a day, I will dedicate to this. Now, 30 minutes a day, 4 days a week, 2 hours every week, you've already put in the effort into whatever it is you want to do. So apply this. You've set a system. It's so simple. Just put it on your calendar and set a little reminder or an alarm that goes off a few minutes before, saying, okay, now it's time for you to start doing it. Once you begin doing this, you will start liking it, you will start getting used to it. You won't have to push yourself to do it. Again, no willpower used at all, because you've already gained a rhythm. 3-4 days you do this, you've set a rhythm. So you're waiting, that alarm's going to ring, and then I'm going to sit and study for half an hour, do some course, online course, or read a book, whatever it is. These systems that you set around yourself makes a world of difference. Then the friends that you have, that also, the circle of people, not necessarily just friends, but the circle of people you surround yourself with on a regular basis. Peer pressure is not something just teenagers face. Getting influenced by friends around us and doing things. All of us are susceptible to outside influence. We keep watching people around us do certain things without even realizing those habits, those mannerisms, all of that we start picking up. There's a saying which goes something like, the 5 people you spend most of your time with make you who you are. So who are you spending most of your time with? Curate your friendships based on your desires and goals of who you want to be. Now, there are some things which come easily to you. You're really good at it. In that case, you won't need to use much willpower, and it doesn't matter who's surrounding you related to those particular situations. But there are many cases where you will need your willpower. In that case, then don't be around people who are doing the opposite thing, who are doing the thing that you want to get rid of. Say if you're a smoker and you want to give up smoking, obviously if you're going to hang out all the time with friends who smoke, you'll be like, okay, today one day I'll go out and smoke with them, tomorrow one day I'll do it, and then it's never going to stop. So you have to start hanging around with people who have given up smoking, right? You find those, you make that support system, that circle around yourself. Community is so important. It's very, very powerful. I'm not saying you cut off your friendship with the people who do the things you don't want to do. All I'm saying is spend more time very consciously with the people who are doing the thing you want to do, or who are the people you want to become like. Right? That is how the friends and family and colleagues, that circle, the close circle, that's how it influences you. Especially who you spend time with, interacting with, whether in person is of course more effective, or even online on groups, online groups, wherever, on a regular, daily, almost daily basis. Who you spend time with, it makes a world of difference. This is why I love mastermind groups. I've been a part of 2 mastermind groups. So apart from signing up for all these self-paced courses and stuff, I have signed up for masterminds. Both those groups, very different, but both have helped me at the point in the journey where I was. This is related to my business. The first group I joined just when I had started my podcast, and it had a bunch of podcasters, creators, solopreneurs, and artists. It had these people, and then of course the leader of the group, the person running the mastermind, who was good at these things, particularly good at podcasting. And being around them, it gave me a lot of accountability, a lot of inspiration, because you're watching others actually manage to do stuff, achieve stuff, and then you feel like, yes, I can do it too. And not in a way that you feel, oh, everyone's doing stuff, I'm not, and feeling pressured. Not in that way at all. Why masterminds help is everybody is at a different pace, everybody is at a different point in their growth cycle, in their entrepreneurial cycle, but everybody has accountability. So whether it is a slow pace or fast pace, we are moving forward because others around me were dedicated to their business growth. they took it seriously and they did some things about it, and then they shared their own experiences, ups, downs, challenges, what they've overcome, what they need help with. It helped me also do the same thing. Then the second mastermind group I joined when I wanted to switch my business running style to a much more gentle pace, gentle growth. People who wanted to take their time building content, especially content creation, but also doing it without worrying too much about social media, people's validation, without keeping up with any trends and stuff like that. And also, spiritual entrepreneurs, because I'm also into spirituality, right? I talk about veganism so much, but I am also a spiritual entrepreneur. I'm a vegan and spiritual entrepreneur. I like to bring holistic keys, holistic techniques to all my workshops, classes, teachings. With the second mastermind group, I surrounded myself with people who have very similar interests and backgrounds. For 3 months, twice a week, we would have our 1 hour call. Of course, there are a few people who make an effort and they're active, and few people who just sit back and don't really do much. But that's my choice. So I chose to be like the people who are active. I chose those friends. And then the three of us, four of us who were active, we would support each other, constantly, helping each other, guiding each other, sharing our inputs. And that support system really helped me fine tune my business, my blog, my podcast, my writing style, so many things. So I again had no need to use my willpower to get anything done. Things just worked out smoothly because all I was doing is watching others, listening to others, and then slowly putting in my efforts because I was moved to do it after watching others, after listening to our teacher, our mentor, talk about her journey, the way she grew her business in a gentle way. Just listening to that and learning, that just meant that I didn't need to use willpower at all because I wanted to really do things. I wanted to make stuff happen. These are all the ways you can change the circumstances around you, manipulate your situation, manipulate your life so that you won't have to use your willpower all the time. And then when it's time for you to actually use the willpower, when it is truly needed, you can use it in small doses, in a very, very discerning, very, very sensible way you can deploy it. I hope whatever I shared has given you a lot of food for thought, because for me, the first time I heard about this concept of the limited nature of willpower and how really we shouldn't be pushing ourselves to use it all the time or even depend on it completely, it blew my mind. I was like, oh yeah, that makes so much sense. So I wanted to share that with you all today so that whatever goals you have, whatever good habits, good new practices that you want to inculcate into your life, I hope this thought of using your willpower in a limited way and instead changing things around you, I hope that thought stays with you and helps you in your journey of change. And as always, before I sign off, I want to invite you to sign up for my newsletter, The Feel Good Tribe. If you enjoy the podcast, you're going to really like the emails I send once, sometimes twice a month. They're all conversational in style, and there are a lot of interesting things that I put into it. Personal stories and tips about running a conscious business, about moon cycles, lots of woo-woo things also. I occasionally do card readings for the newsletter subscribers, and I share vegan recipes, tips on healthy living, well-being, all of it. So many topics. Like I said in the beginning, I'm a multi-passionate, so that comes through in the newsletters. So if you aren't a member yet, join the Feel Good Tribe. It's a free newsletter. Go to veganosaurus.com, veganosaurus.com/newsletter. I can't wait to see you inside the Feel Good Tribe. Take care. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Feel Good Factor. I'm Susmita Veganosaurus, and I'm looking forward to talking to you again very soon. Bye!